Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be reviewing all of the workout guides and programs that I've tried over the past 4 years or so. These are just all guides that I've tried myself, and I know that every single time I bought a new program or bought a new app, I scoured the internet for reviews, but there's really not any videos out there that reviews a whole bunch of guides all at once. So that's why I wanted to bring this video for you guys today. But we do have 7 guides to get through, 8 kind of. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. Let's go. So I'll be talking about these guides in the order that I purchased them. And the first one I purchased probably in early 2017 is Bikini Body Guide, or BBG for short, created by Kayla Itsines. This guide is a 12-week guide, which she says she created to help women achieve a bikini body and consists mostly of resistance training. So the style of workouts incorporated in Bikini Body Guide is resistance training, cardio, including both LISS and HIIT, as well as rehab or recovery. In case you're not familiar, real quick, AMRAP stands for as many reps as possible. So it'll give you a time limit, say 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and a certain number of exercises with the specified number of reps, and you'll go through all of those exercises as many times as you can until the time is up. In terms of the cardio, LISS stands for low intensity steady state. So going for a long walk or doing an hour of yoga would count for LISS, and then HIIT is high intensity interval training, usually some sort of variation of a 30-second off, 30 seconds on interval training, where the 30 seconds where you're on is super high intensity. So Kayla Itsines' Bikini Body Guide incorporates all 3 of those training styles. The frequency is basically 6 times per week. That includes about 3 resistance trainings, 2 to 4 cardio workouts, so either LISS or HIIT, depending on where in the program you are, and then 1 to 2 recovery sessions. The resistance training portion consists of 7-minute circuits, each with 4 exercises. Each session will include 2 circuits. So basically you'll do circuit A, which has 4 exercises, and you'll repeat those 4 exercises AMRAP style for 7 minutes. Then you'll do circuit 2, same thing. Then you'll do both of those again. So it's a total of 7 minutes times 4 circuits equals 28 minutes. Your workout will be like around 30-32 minutes, depending on how long of a break you take in between each circuit. LISS, they recommend between 35 to 45 minutes. And then for HIIT, they recommend between 10 to 15 minutes. In terms of equipment, all you need is a bench, some weights, a jump rope, a step, and then a medicine ball. The 4 categories that I'm going to be ranking each of these workout guides on are going to be cost effectiveness, user friendliness, sustainability, and how challenging it is. When I say sustainability, I don't mean like environmentally, I just mean, was I able to continue this guide? Was it exciting for me to come back to every day? Was I able to complete the guide? That kind of thing. So basically, is it a sustainable way of training? For Bikini Body Guide, the cost is $52 for 12 weeks. Back then in 2017, they only had a PDF version. Now the Bikini Body Guide is on an app called Sweat. So back then it was $52 for the 12 weeks. Now it's $20 per month to get access to all of the programs within the Sweat app. But at $52 for 12 weeks, I would give a 2 out of 3 star rating. For user friendliness, I gave it 2 out of 3 stars. It's a PDF format. It's very simple. You can't really go wrong with PDF unless it's a time-based workout and you don't have a timer to go along with it. BBG is a time-based workout in the sense that it's AMRAP, but you only need to set a timer every 7 minutes, which you can do on your phone, so it's not too inconvenient to do without a custom-made timer. However, the combination of equipment that you need is a little bit mediocre for my taste. So like tricep dips, I can use my couch instead of a bench, but lateral bench hops I wouldn't be able to do on my couch. Also, I don't have a jump rope. A jump rope also isn't super convenient to use when you're inside a small apartment, and I don't have a step either. So for that reason, I knocked the rating down 1 at 2 out of 3 for user friendliness. Sustainability, I gave it a 1 out of 3 because I could not complete this guide. It got boring for me. And I think one of the major reasons is because you have 3 resistance training workouts a week. Basically on week 1 and week 3, you're repeating the same resistance training workouts. I think it's repetitive, sessions are repeated, it's AMRAP. I don't like it that much. It wasn't fun, it didn't keep things exciting. Every single day was the same format, so I gave it a 1 out of 3. And for challenge, I would give it a 2 out of 3. I mean, it's nothing that would put me out of my comfort zone. It doesn't use super heavy weights. The moves aren't super creative or anything, but at the same time, they are pretty high intensity, so it's not easy. So I'd give it 2 out of 3, which brings the total ranking to 7 out of 12. Moving on to the next one. The second guide that I tried out was Amanda Bisk's Fresh Body Fit Mind, FBFM. And I'm going to read my notes, but basically this guide is a high-intensity based training program created by Amanda, who sought time-friendly and efficient training styles that gave her the lean, strong, athletic body she had when she was training over 30 hours a week as an elite athlete before she was diagnosed with chronic fatigue. So the whole point of this guide is time efficiency. And all of her workouts are 20 minutes. She has 4 different styles of workouts. The first is circuit. So these are 20-minute high-intensity workouts, mostly in AMRAP style. The second is move, which includes both list and HIIT. The third is test, which are longer challenges, about 30 minutes, I would say. There's 4 challenges throughout the 12-week program, and you repeat each one 3 times to see how far you've progressed between each repetition. And then the fourth style is my session, which is when you go out and do whatever you like. You can go for a walk, you can go climbing, you can go bowling, you can do some yoga, whatever sort of active recovery day you need. In terms of frequency, the guide guides you to work out 6 times a week. On Mondays through Thursday, you have some sort of combination of circuit or move. So on Monday, you might have circuit and move. Tuesday, you might have circuit. Wednesday, you might have circuit, move again, etc. Friday, you have a test. Saturday is my session, and then Sunday is rest day. What makes Amanda's workout guide unique is that she has a workout for you in the morning and in the afternoon. So her philosophy is that working out twice a day is more efficient for your metabolism than working out for twice the amount of time in just one session throughout the day. So basically, you'll have a total of 40 minutes of exercise per day, but they'll be broken up into 2 20-minute sessions. Now, personally, I don't have time to work out twice a day most of the time, and I would rather just do it in one session, in which case you can just smush together 2 sessions, basically. The circuit workouts typically include a warm-up, which is 4 minutes AMRAP, a circuit, which is 10 minutes AMRAP, and core, which is another 4 minutes AMRAP. But if you wanted to smush together the AM and PM exercises, you can just do warm-up once, circuit, core, and then circuit, core again, so that your total exercise time is about 35 minutes. And that's what I did most of the time. The move workouts, so like I mentioned, they include both list and HIIT. List will be just something like a 20-minute walk, while HIIT will be like a 20-minute session, but it'll be broken down into walk for 1 minute, jog for 1 minute, run for 1 minute, and then do burpees for 1 minute, and then repeat 5 times for a total of 20 minutes, something like that. And then the test, they'll either be time-based or rep-based, and basically you're just going to take note of how long it took you to do a certain sequence, or measure how many reps you were able to complete within a certain time frame, and then remember it for next time to see if you've been able to increase your rep range or decrease the time it took you to do the sequence. Equipment that you will need for Fresh Body Fit Mind are just chair, some sort of weight, a jump rope, and then some space. Now, the circuits she designed so that you can do them all within a 2 meter by 2 meter space. So that is great for at-home training. But the move workouts, the list and hit exercises, you will need either like a treadmill, elliptical, or some sort of space where you can go outside and do these exercises. Again, it's been a while since I purchased this program. When I purchased it, it was in PDF form, and I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but I think it must have been $100 or less for 19 weeks of exercises plus a stretching guide. Now she has an app which you can download for $10 a month, which isn't too bad in terms of price. I would give it a 2 out of 3 stars for cost effectiveness. For user friendliness, I'd give it another 2 out of 3 stars because it's nice that you do most of the exercises at home. It's nice that you can be flexible, so you can either break up the workouts into an AM and PM session, or you can merge them together into one longer session. However, because the workouts are time-based, I would have preferred if there was some sort of timer, custom-made timer available, especially since every single circuit training workout has the same time breakdown. I mean, again, it's not a huge hassle to turn on your timer on your phone, but it's a little bit more of a hassle than the Bikini Body Guide, where it's just 7 minutes every single time. So for that reason, I docked 1 point off to give it 2 out of 3 stars. In terms of sustainability, again, another 2 out of 3 stars, because ideally you do break up the workouts into 2 sessions per day, which isn't possible for most of us. And then also because the move workouts do require a lot of space or a treadmill, I gave it 2 out of 3 stars. I'm also pretty sure I didn't complete all 19 weeks of this guide because I probably just got kind of bored of it. And in terms of how challenging it was, I give it another 2 out of 3. Again, it's high intensity, so it keeps that heart rate up, and I suck at cardio. So in that sense, it's challenging, but the moves aren't really anything revolutionary or super difficult. So I'd give it 2 out of 3 stars in that space for a total of 8 out of 12 stars for Fresh Body Fit Mind. The third guide that I ever purchased was probably my best purchase, and it was Sweat It to Shred It by Sarah's Day. Now, Sarah's Day has done so much, not just ebooks, but also a ton of like food products, activewear, body care products, and she's coming out with a cooking project soon, which I cannot wait for. But that aside, she is a holistic health fitness influencer. And she created 2 8-week challenges designed to help you burn fat, detoxify your system, and sculpt your body through body resistance training while aiming to keep the body guessing and also keep up your positive attitude towards training. So she has 2 guides and they're slightly different. The first one has 4 different styles of exercises. The first one is a sweaty shredder, which includes 7 exercises, each of which are repeated 6 times in a 30-second on, 10-second off interval training style. Sweaty shredders will take you about 31 minutes. The second one is toning power, which is a superset style exercise session. You have 3 supersets. Each superset is repeated 4 times, and it takes you about 35 minutes total. The third one is an activity, so she'll give you like a beach workout or some stair sprints or something, or just tell you to go for a long walk with a friend. The fourth one is challenge, so she'll have like body style booty burners or like 10-minute ab blasters, stuff like that to keep it fun and exciting. And then in the second 8-week challenge, she incorporates a new style of workout called Sassy Circuits. You have 3 circuits, each consists of 4 exercises, and each circuit is repeated 3 times. So for me, these took anywhere between 45 minutes to 70 minutes or so, depending on how long of a break I took and how hard the exercises were. Overall, in terms of frequency of exercise, you'll be working out about 4 to 6 times a week. You basically build your way up to eventually working out 6 times a week. And then in terms of equipment, for the first ebook, Sweat It to Shred It, you do not need any equipment, just maybe a mat and a little bit of space. For the second 8-week challenge, which is called Sweat It Reload, you will need to start incorporating just dumbbells and a bench and maybe a small step, but it's not really necessary. Overall, this is my favorite guide, but in terms of the ranking for cost, it's $50 for 8 weeks, or I just looked online, you can get both Sweat It to Shred It and Sweat It Reload for $84. So that's 16 weeks worth of workouts for $84. Plus you have to pay $2.50 for her custom-made timer app. Now this is key. The timer is everything because the sweaty shredders and the toning powers and some of the challenges are time-based, and you do not want to be fiddling with your iPhone every 10 seconds to set a 10-second rest, 30-second on, 10-second rest, you know? So she created a custom-made timer which does this all for you. And this is the only workout guide that I know of that's in PDF form, but comes with a custom-made timer.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
So anyways, that timer is $2.50. So overall, you'll be paying max like less than $90 for 16 weeks worth of training, which I think is an excellent deal. So I've given cost effectiveness 3 out of 3 stars. In terms of user friendliness, again, because of the timer and because the PDF is very easy to read, 3 out of 3 stars. Sustainability, 3 out of 3 stars because I have repeated Sweat It to Shred It at least 2 or 3 times and Sweat It Reload probably about 4 times. So obviously it's one that I keep coming back to and one that continues to keep me motivated. And then in terms of challenge, I've also given this ranked 3 out of 3 stars because the hardest workout that I have ever done is probably the last workout in this guide, which is called Primal Power. And it like kicks you in the butt with push-up, burpee, tuck jumps, and then follows that up with like lunge jumps and a bunch more plyometric movements that just absolutely kill you. So it's definitely challenging, but at the same time, if you work your way up from week 1, it's definitely doable even if you're a beginner. So basically I've given all 4 categories 3 out of 3 stars, making Sweat It to Shred It and Sweat It Reload my number 1 ranked workout guide with 12 out of 12 stars. Now, after I did Sweat It like, I don't know, 4 or 6 times, I decided to just try something new. So I dipped my toes into Yogo Skenz's The Fit Yogi Trainer. Now this workout guide is super unique because it's the only guide out there, at least that I know of, that combines both training and yoga into one comprehensive workout plan. This is just a 28-day program, so it's quite short. But every day you'll have a 20-minute intense workout, and that's broken down into 2 leg days, 2 arm and core days, 1 full body day, 1 get out and explore and do whatever your heart desires day, and 1 rest day. And then you have a 10 to 15 minute yoga flow followed by a drill or tutorial of the day, which will eventually help you to prepare for the pose of the day. So basically 5 days a week, you're going to have a 20-minute workout, which includes a warm-up and a cool-down, a 10 to 15 minute yoga flow, a drill of the day, which might be like crow push-ups or something, and then a pose of the day, which might be like crane pose or something. The frequency, like I said, is 5 days a week of that full package, and then you have 1 get out active recovery day and then 1 rest day. And in terms of how long it takes, I would say each day is about an hour. In terms of equipment that you need, you'll need a band, a bench, some weights, and a jump rope. But what's cool about this is that she's also incorporated a translation from home to gym. So basically these workouts are designed so that you can do them at home. She made it so that you can intensify every single exercise at the gym if you are at the gym. In terms of cost, Kenzie made her own app, so I think that's why it's a little bit more expensive than usual. It's $60 for the 4-week program, which in my opinion is on the more expensive side. So I've given cost a 1 out of 3 star rating. In terms of user friendliness, the app is pretty well made. There's no real glitches or bugs that I ran into, but it's a little bit clunky. One kind of inconvenience is you have the workouts all in text form, and then you have an overview of the workout in video form, and then after that you have the drill and the pose of the day and the flow and stuff. But it's a little bit tough to follow when you have the entire workout in text form at top and then the entire workout in video form later. So if you're just wondering how to do one exercise, you kind of have to scroll through the whole video, which is a little bit inconvenient. But in general, the exercises are not super fancy or complicated. So overall, it's not bad. I gave it a 2 out of 3 rating. The workouts are mostly rep-based, so there's not really a need for a timer either. In terms of sustainability, to get through it once, it was fine. Like I got through the entire program. But it is quite repetitive. Almost every workout, I think, would be like repeat 4 times or repeat 3 times, which to me is really boring. So I haven't gone through it a second time, and I probably won't, even though the guide recommends to go through it at least like 3 to 4 times. It was fun to get through the first time, so for that reason, I've given the sustainability category a 2 out of 3 star rating. And then in terms of challenge, I give it a 3 out of 3 star rating because, first of all, it's HIIT. And like I said, I'm not good at cardio. The second reason is because whether or not you come from a more training-based background or yoga-based background, because this program meshes the two, you know, whichever side you come from, you'll experience a challenge on the other side, which I think keeps it fun. And so there's really a challenge in there for everyone. So I've given that category a 3 out of 3 star rating, which brings the total to 8 out of 12 stars for the Fit Yogi Trainer. Now, the last 3 programs I have purchased all within 2020. The first one that I downloaded back in February, right before gyms closed down, was Cut. Cut was created by Natasha Ocean, and she has a bunch of different training guides. I think she has probably 10 or so by now. Basically, what Cut is it's an effective fat loss workout regimen through science-backed training. The program is on an app called Athlete, which is not owned by Natasha. It's a third-party platform on which a bunch of fitness influencers host their workout programs. Natasha's Cut program is a 10-week program, and each week has 6 days to work out. The first day is always plyometric, which is about 60 minutes long, and this includes explosive weight-based training and exercises. It's one of my favorite days, but also one of the hardest. So you'll be doing like squat jumps with barbells, or like lunge jumps with barbells, or plyo push-ups, which is where you do a push-up, but you like push yourself off the ground. A lot of jumping and a lot of explosive motions, which are exhausting, but one of the most effective ways to exercise for fat loss. Day 2 is upper body and HIIT. So most of these exercises are going to be strength training based. You're going to be in the weights side of the gym. So you'll have shoulder presses, you'll have bicep curls, you'll have tricep extensions, chest flies and stuff, using all sorts of equipment at the gym. And then you'll combine that with, I think it's usually like 15 minutes of HIIT. So this workout is a little bit longer than all the others. It says it's about 70 minutes, but there have been times when it took me closer to 90 minutes. Day 3 is lower body. It's going to take about 60 minutes. Day 4 is active recovery, where she recommends doing something active for 60 minutes or so. Day 5 is full body. This is also 60 minutes. And then day 6 is HIIT, which is just 20 minutes. I think it's like either 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And the HIIT workouts are generally 5 exercises, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, repeated 4 times. For the weight-based training, you generally have between 9 to 12 different exercises, which you'll repeat for 2 to 4 sets. For equipment, you will need the full gym. You pretty much cannot do this at home. In terms of the ratings for cost, it's $60 for 10 weeks in the Athlete app. It's a little bit pricey, but I think for what it is, it's worth it. So I've given it 2 out of 3 stars. In terms of user friendliness, Athlete itself is not the best. Other people have said that it's crashed on them multiple times. Luckily, I've never really had that happen to me, but I do have a couple of complaints about it. For example, on Athlete, every time you finish a rep, you tap on the circle and you can note what weight you used for that rep. And so basically for every single set that you do, you log some data. Sometimes when I would switch off the app to change my music or to film myself doing an exercise, all the data would get deleted, which was really annoying. Also, there is a stopwatch at the top of the screen, but there's no timer specifically for the time-based exercises. And if you have really good eyes and you can like put your phone on the ground and while you're standing still see the little numbers on your phone, which is like smaller than the time on your home screen, by the way, it's fine. But otherwise, I have to be like squinting to like look down at my phone every time to see where the timer was at. So that was a little bit annoying. But other than that, the app is pretty good, and there's videos for every single exercise, and she has modifications in case you aren't able to do the full expression yet and want to work up to it. So for user friendliness, I've given this program 2 out of 3 stars. For sustainability, I give it 3 out of 3 stars because I really was excited to go to the gym every day. I was excited to see what the exercises were going to be. It might be because this is my first real weight-based training, so it was just something new. I think that I could continue once my gym is back to normal operating hours again. And for challenge, I gave it 3 out of 3 stars because it is really hard, guys. Do not underestimate this program. It is tough. So that brings my total rating for cut to 10 out of 12 stars. So after my gym shut down due to quarantine, I realized quickly that I would need to find a different workout plan. And so I looked at Natasha's other guides and decided to download the home guide. The home guide is basically a 12-week guide which really tries to get you the most out of a very minimal number of equipment to burn fat, build muscle, and improve your overall fitness. And I think one thing that's important to keep in mind about Natasha is that she does have a gymnastics background. She is very much into functional training, calisthenics. Her workouts will include things like handstand holds and stuff. The home guide is again on the Athlete app, but in terms of the weekly breakdown, it goes day 1 is lower body, which is about 55 minutes. Day 2 is upper body and core for 60 minutes. Day 3 is HIIT for 20 minutes. Day 4 is active rest. Day 5 is lower body for 60 minutes. And day 6 is upper body for another 60 minutes. So again, the frequency is 6 times a week. However, in terms of how long each session took, the average is like 55 minutes for most of the days, 55 to 60 minutes. But by the end of the 12 weeks, I was finishing each session within like 35, 45 minutes, which to me means either the exercises are getting easier or there's just not enough progression to help me continue to improve my strength. In terms of equipment, this one you can do completely at home, but you will need some bands. I had short loop bands from before, but for this guide, you will really need a long loop band. She does sell both long and short loop bands on her website, but they're often sold out. I guess they're really good. I got mine from B&D, which is Grace Beverly's company, and they're cloth-based. They're really good. They're stretchy but like nice on the skin. They're not gonna like tear your hairs out or anything. So I really like these. You will need those for the workouts. Unless you have dumbbells, you might be able to supplement some of the exercises with dumbbells, but there are exercises like where you hook this onto the end of your couch or your bed leg or something. Yeah, so you'll need bands, a heavy base, a chair, and a wall. Also, this guide is really good for vacation because these are really easy to pack and they're light. In terms of the ratings for cost, it's $50 for 12 weeks, which I think is a very good deal. So I've given it 3 out of 3 stars. For user friendliness, it's the same as before because Home is hosted on the same Athlete app as Cut was. So 2 out of 3 stars there. In terms of sustainability, I've given this one 2 out of 3 stars because at the end it did start to get a little bit boring and a little bit repetitive. But I think that might be the case for any like home-based workout because there's only so much that you can do at home with limited amount of equipment. In terms of challenge, again, 2 stars out of 3 because there's not much progression if you're able to do the full expression of every exercise from the start. So that brings a total rating for this guide at 9 out of 12 stars. And last but not least is Power at Home. Power at Home is hosted on the Sweat app. This guide is created by Kelsey Wells, and it is apparently a 28-week weight training program at home. Basically, they give you goals for the week, supplemented by recommendations for what you should do each day. There are 3 different styles of exercise for the Power at Home guide. The first is resistance training, which I'll go into a little bit later. The second is cardio, which includes both lifts and HIIT, again, same as BBG. And the third is recovery. In the app, they'll give you like 3 to 4 different types of resistance training, each targeting a specific body part. And you can choose which one you want to do each day. Within the resistance training, you will have 2 activation loops. So one activation loop looks like 2 exercises which are done back to back for 4 minutes AMRAP style. So you'll do 2 of those, and then you'll have a circuit training portion which consists of 3 exercises done for 40 seconds on, 10 seconds off, repeated 3 times. Last section includes 2 supersets. Each superset has 2 exercises repeated over and over for 6 minutes AMRAP. And then they have a section for cardio, but the cardio workouts are not included in the program. So you will just have to choose what workout you want to do that day for cardio, whether it's a 60-minute walk or a 15-minute HIIT workout that you found online. But they recommend that you do 3 cardio sessions per week, at least in the beginning. And then they have recovery videos, which are like 20 to 30 minutes long of basically stretching and foam rolling. And for example, they'll have you foam roll your calves for like 3 minutes, and I just can't. But anyways, basically they recommend that you do 3 to 4 times resistance training per week, 3 cardio, and then 2 recovery sessions, and then 1 challenge. The challenges are basically, there's like this whole archive of different types of exercises in the app. You can choose any of the challenges you want to do. It might be like a 300 rep challenge, a 600 rep challenge, just a full body Tabata workout challenge, whatever. There's so many, but you can choose whatever you want and just do 1 a week of those. And the equipment that you will need for this workout are just weights, some bands, and a chair. I think that's it. In terms of the ratings for cost, this one's really expensive. It's $20 a month, more expensive than Netflix and Disney Plus combined. I think that it's worth it. I'm just saying it's expensive, and for that reason, I've given the cost category only 1 out of 3 stars. For user friendliness, I give it 3 out of 3 stars. Like I said, the app is seamless, and they also have music playlists created for you, so that's really nice. And also in terms of timer, everything is timed and set out for you. So you just click start workout and walk you through the entire workout. For sustainability, I really like it actually because each resistance training workout is very short. They're like 35 minutes total, which allows me to tag on a 15-minute HIIT or like a 30-minute yoga after. So for that reason, I think that this regimen is going to be sustainable for me, even though I've only been doing it for 2 weeks so far. But I give it 3 out of 3 stars there. And for challenge, I give it 2 out of 3 stars. Again, I think it's just because it's an at-home workout. It's not going to be as difficult or as challenging as a gym workout, but it still works up a pretty good sweat. So I'll give it 2 out of 3 stars there for a total of 9 out of 12 stars. So that is all of the guides that I have tried in the past 4 years. Overall, I really like changing up my workouts every now and then. There are some guides that I can do over and over and over again, but I really do like to switch things up just to keep my body guessing and also to keep my mind sane. You'll notice that I didn't put any before and after pictures for each of the guides, and that's because I don't think that you'd be able to really tell a difference, especially since obviously there was a lot of like inertia in the beginning just because I had never worked out before, and then I suddenly started and I had that momentum going. And so you can see a big change in my body between 2016 to 2018. And during that time I went through BBG, Fresh Body Fit Mind, and Sweat It. But then since then the changes in my body have been a lot more nuanced. Every guide is a little bit different, and for me it's just important to follow a guide that is sustainable and that doesn't bore me. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. So I hope this was useful for you guys. I know I always struggle whenever I'm looking to buy a new guide. I wonder if it's going to be worth it. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So I hope this gave you a little taste of a bunch of different guides and you can choose what the best one is for you. If you have any questions, please drop me a message in the comments below, or you can DM me on my Instagram, ehats_fit. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.